Hello everyone, it's Splicer here, and today I want to talk to you about Behemoths and future content that's coming to Battlefield 1. So there's been a lot of speculation about the new Behemoths that come in the future DLCs and future content and patches. In particular, the K-Wagon, which was a large German tank which held 27 crew and was just a beast. It was absolutely massive in comparison to the other tanks that we have. And I think that would be a fantastic addition to the game, and another Behemoth would sort of vary the Behemoths that we're getting at the moment and what it can offer. Which again, it's only speculation. They did mention in the new DLC there's going to be large tank battles, and it did sort of speculate that new Behemoths will be coming in. But I know season pass holders and those guys looking forward to the future DLCs are looking forward to the new content that's coming out. And for me in particular, that would be Behemoths, because at the moment they're very similar in what they receive and what they can give to each of the maps that they come in. So obviously you get the large armoured train, the blimp, or the large battleship as well. I've looked through World War I history, and I've had a look through any sort of super weapons and what could fall into the category of Behemoths. And I think the one that sticks out to me is aircraft carriers. It's not necessarily a thing that usually sticks by with World War I, more so World War II, but they were being used in World War I, and each force that was fighting had or was designing aircraft carriers to use.
We have lost objective Duff.
During World War I, both the British and the Germans were designing and creating aircraft carriers, mostly towards the end. The Royal Navy created HMS Argus, which was a converted ocean liner called the Cotti Rosso from Italy, and they converted the top of it to hold a runway, and it was the first to carry aircraft that could both take off and land, whereas previously they'd use seaplanes that would take off, land in the sea, and then get picked up by the ships, which wasn't really ideal. Germany was also creating an aircraft carrier at the time, which was designed, but it wasn't actually brought into service within the confines of World War I. However, I'd like to believe that DICE can look past that, as it was technically designed during World War I, and bring this into the game. The reason why I think this would be one of the better Behemoths, or at least a different aspect to it, is that currently they all offer the same thing, is they're all full of firepower, and they could just fire on specific parts of the map, where, for example, where the train track is, or where the ocean. But the difference with this one, it will take that away, and it will give us a different dynamic of what Behemoths can offer. So when the losing team is coming close to losing, you then get the Behemoth, which is an aircraft carrier, and it provides that team with another 5, 6, 7 aircraft on top of the 2 that they already have, and it will just allow them to gain air supremacy over the enemy, bombing all the checkpoints, and just dominating everywhere. It would still force the opposite team to use their aircraft if possible, or other large weapons to take out the aircraft carrier, so that planes couldn't keep spawning in. And I think it would open up the game. It would give a different dynamic to it. In the long run, potentially open like a carrier warfare custom map, sort of like Battlefield 4 did. But it will open up the game to more things. They did exist, and they did carry aircraft that could take off and land, and I think it would be ideal if they was to bring this in, not in the next, ideally in the next DLC, it doesn't seem likely, but later on in 2017, bringing in the aircraft carriers, we would just change the dynamic of what it can be, especially when you look at operations, rather than just bringing in another blimp, or another ship. You'd bring in, potentially split them up, have a battleship come in, and then the second time round have an aircraft carrier come in, and it will give you reach into the battlefield that you wouldn't have with what traditional battleship would. But yeah, having researched World War I and seeing what super weapons could get brought into the game, we're quite limited in what it can bring. And if they bring in this 27-man tank, the K-Wagon that the Germans had, or aircraft carriers, it's a limited field, and I think it will open up the game and give it more opportunities and more diverse to what it can provide. If you guys have any ideas of if this is plausible, if it's a good idea, bad idea, or if you simply like the video, please give us a like, give me a comment, or subscribe, because I will provide further updates and on information that's coming out and any information that DICE give out in the future. But no, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.